Hello all and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today in this particular video, we are going to talk about an annotation tool called UBIAI. This is an document annotation tool that can help you to annotate your PDF documents, image documents, and document classification and even the text. So if you want to do any kind of NER extraction, you want to train a LayoutLM model, or you want to annotate the PDF documents for training a LayoutLM model, you can also use it for OCR annotations. You also use it for image annotations, for image classification specifically. You can also do it for object action. So it's basically a tool that will help you on annotating the things out in a PDF format or image format, on the text format, and that can speed up your process of annotation. And you can export the all the kind of annotations for any kind of framework that you are looking for. So let's suppose if you want to train the model uh, on Spacy, you can export the model, you can export the annotated data set uh, on the Spacy format. If you want to train a model on LayoutLM, you can annotate the PDF and you can export the exact format that is required by LayoutLM, and you can export it in that format. And you can also annotate the relationship between the text. So if your goal is to find the relationship between the text between in the specific paragraph or in a specific text, then you can also use this annotation tool to mark your relationship, and then you can use Spacy model to extract the relationships from the text. So this tool particularly is useful for such peoples who are working in part of document understanding or document AI part, and even in the NLP area where you are purely dealing on the text information extractions. So this particular tool is going to help you out in all sort of things, and we're going to look out the things in continuation of this particular video. So let's go through this particular tool and let's just explore the things out here. So you can see it's clearly mentioned here, like you can use it for OCR annotation. You can also build your team, and so if you have members or team that can help you to annotate, so you can also use a team collaboration to annotate here. And there is also an automatic labeling tool that can help you to automate the labeling of your annotations, that will make the annotations very faster compared to the manual annotation. So lot of things are actually built in here in the tool, and it will help you to scale up your annotations properly and annotate the things out in a better way. You can also use it for multilingual annotations. You can also use it for document classification. So let's suppose if you are a task of extracting a document, or you want to do a document classification, like if you want to classify that particular PDF is of invoice or it's of general insurance PDF. So in that case you want to classify the document, right? So you can use this particular tool to annotate your PDFs for document classification, and even you can train your model over here in the tool itself. So that's the flexibility of this particular tool. You can use it for annotation, and you can use it for training of model as well. If your goal is to train NER model, so let's suppose if you want to use transformer models, you want to use Spacy models. So in any kind of framework, if you want to use those kind of NER models, you can use this particular tool and export those specific formats in the required formats for which the framework you are looking for. So you can do all of these things in a single tool, and that will be helpful for you for all your NLP and document understanding tasks. And I think this is the only tool available on the market right now to go and directly use it for all your document purpose annotation. So if you're looking forward for training a LayoutLM models, this is a go-to tool. You can just go and export your or import your PDFs or image documents, like legal documents or any kind of financial documents, and then you can start using this tool to annotate the required format by the LayoutLM, and then you can train your LayoutLM model here, or you can also export those annotations. You can train it by yourself. So that's a beauty of this particular tool, and then it can help you to escalate the things out very well. So if you scroll down the at this particular page of this particular tool, you can see there are GIFs that are happening, which says that you can annotate the things out in a PDF, and you can mark those things. It's a very easy way to annotate and mark the things out in a particular PDF, and then you can extract the things out for the from the model. So that's the very amazing approach that particular UBI tool follows, and I think it's the best way to even handle the accuracy of a particular annotations. So there are a lot of things that can be done here in this particular tool. So you can just uh, go to the link that I provided in the description, and you can just go and sign up for the demo, or you can sign up into the tool, and you can even mention my name so that you can get a discount on the particular annotation tool, right? So you can mention my name in the demo, and you can get a discount. So this will be helpful for your all your industrial cases for financial or even the like any kind of document understanding stuff that you are trying to extract from the document. So this is a very helpful tool that can help you to do all kind of training, automatic labeling, and any other extractions, LayoutLM model training. Like if you want to do even relationship extractions, you can do all these things here in UBI tool. Right. So now let's do a simple project, like how we can use this particular tool to model something, and we're gonna take up this particular invoice data set, and we're gonna annotate those things, annotate the information inside the invoice data set, and then we're gonna train a model using a LayoutLM, and then we're gonna see the results, and we're gonna predict the results out using auto labeling once the model is trained. Right, so this is the whole thing that we want to do it over here in this particular tutorial, and then we're gonna see the whole package that UBIAI tool provides. Right, so now let's go to the project section where we're gonna create a new project, and where we're gonna import our own dataset, image invoice dataset, and then we're gonna annotate some of them, and then we're going to train the model over it, right? And then we're going to inference out. So that's the whole project that we're going to do it over here. So let's go into this project section, and then let's click on this new project, and then you're gonna find all the details, like how we should be doing up how you should be setting up your projects. So here you're gonna fill up your project name. So let me write it up like layout LM invoice extraction. I should write it properly, extraction, and you can mention all the details about this particular project in the description section. I'm not going to provide it over here, and then I'm going to proceed for the next. And then here you want to see a lot of project type that you're going to do it. So if you want to do a span based annotation, like if you have certain text or project that you want to annotate on the span basis, then you can use this span based annotation. Like if you want to annotate only the specific words from a particular text, then you can use the span based annotations. You can also use this character based annotation. So let's suppose if you want to annotate only the character of that particular word, then you can use this character based annotation. And if you want to use OCR annotation, so this is very specifically for PDF annotation, or for LayoutLM model training, or relationship model maintenance, or any kind of NER extraction. So this is the one that we are going to take up. So OCR annotation will help you on annotating the things out on the PDF or the images. And if you want to do any kind of relationship or any kind of NER on the PDF images and PDF images or text, then this will be very helpful. And at the last, you will have image classification type for classifying the images, right? So I'm going to select this OCR annotation because my document will be an image document. So, and if you have PDF document, you can also use this. You can read about all these things. It's very clearly mentioned here, like for what cases you have to use the project type. So if I will select this particular OCR annotation, and then I'm going to click next, and then here you have to enter all your labels. So let's suppose I want to extract the seller name from an invoice, seller name, or I should say seller. Then I will enter, and then I will say seller address. So there are many things that is there in the particular invoice to be extracted. I'm just putting up some of them. So let's suppose I want to also extract the total amount. So this is the, so let's say these are three labels that you want to extract from the PDF or from the image of invoice, and let's just proceed for it. So here also there's a thing that you can do it. If you want to do a relationship extraction in the project section itself, you can type what kind of relationship you want to do or you want to build up. So let's suppose in this relationship labels, I want to give a relationship like sellers information. So uh, this is the data, this is the relationship that I want to build up between the seller address and the seller name. You can create with any of the relationship labels. So I'm just giving a single label right now. You can give as many as label to different entities that you want to create, and then you can click on next button. And here are the image classification images. So let's suppose if you want to classify the particular page of that particular document in a PDF, so you can also mention the tags. So let's suppose if you have single classification or multi classification, so this will be helpful when let's say you have PDF and you have like 10 to 15 pages in a PDF, but you have certain pages in a PDF that is relevant for you where the information present. So what you can do is you can first build up a classification layer to classify the important pages, and then from those important pages you can use a layout LM model to extract things out, right? So this particular classification of this particular PDF or pages in a PDF will help you to classify the relevant and non-relevant pages inside the PDF, and then you can proceed with the entity extraction from those relevant pages. So this will be helpful to tag all the things out in a particular page. So if I say I want to write it as relevant add the labels, right? So the labels have been added. Now we want to import the images. So for this particular projects, you can import a lot of lot of information in a form of text, PDF, HTML, docs, JSON, CSV. So these are the file formats that you can use it into this particular portal to annotate the data. So once that is done, so let me just first import the documents. So I have some of them. So let me just import it, and I'm going to select no pre-annotation. It's asking for the OCR engine. So if you have any PDF or image document, then obviously you need to have an OCR, right? So that's what it is asking. So if you want to use a default OCR engine to extract the text from the images, that's it's gonna use. So at the backend they're gonna use AWS Tesseract to extract the text information. So that's a very good text extraction OCR engine offered by AWS. So it is using that quality of text extraction to maintain the quality of the text inside the PDF which has been extracted, and you can annotate the annotations on that quality of text. So that's the beauty of this particular UBIAI tool, that it is also using a state of the art OCR engines. It's not PyTesseract. It's obviously because this is a paid tool, so they're going to use the quality OCR annotation, OCR extraction, so that you can annotate on the quality text, right? So that's a quality that is being provided by the UBIAI. And once the annotations once the import has been done, you can just click on upload and it will start uploading the documents. So it will take few seconds depending upon your the size of the PDF or the images. And once that is done, you will be thrown to a portal where you can annotate the things out. So if you see out this whole portal, it's not very difficult to understand. The one side you can see the project details and the document that you are annotating. So let's suppose if you want to go to the next document, you can click on this. If you want to go to the next previous document, you can go and click on this, and it is showing the progress of the documents, and it's showing the project details that you have set it up. And in the between, you can see the text extracted from this particular PDF on the right. You can see, right? So it's all the OCR text. So AWS Tesseract has been run on this particular image, and all the text has been extracted here on this section. So you can see all the text has been extracted, right? And at the right you can see the image. So there are two ways to annotate. One thing is to annotate directly from here on the text. So if I select this out, you have to mention the you have to label the tag, right? So you can do like this. But if you want to do it annotation on the images, then you can do it on the image as well. So let's suppose if you want to annotate this seller Max Enterprise, so I'm going to drag and drop, and I'm going to select it as seller. So that's how it's gonna help you to annotate on the images as well. So once you annotate it here, you can see the annotations automatically done on the text, right? So this is the important of this particular tool. So you don't have to extract the text specifically and then annotate it using NER. You can annotate the annotations over the images directly or on the PDF directly, right? So like how I did, you can also add another label to the seller address. So I'm going to select this particular thing, and I'm going to label it as seller address. So you can see it's being selecting it here, and you can see on the on the left hand side you can see the seller address has been selected. It has been tagged automatically because you have marked it on the image. The purpose of marking here in this particular image is that because the OCR reads line by line, so that becomes a problematic to do the annotation here on the left hand side. So you can see the seller address has been distributed all over the text, but we don't want to annotate in such a way. So that's why annotating on the image itself becomes very easy to do it. So hence I prefer to do the annotation on the image itself. And then I'm going to also annotate the total amount. So this is a total amount. Let's do it. And I think I missed it, so let me just again drag and drop, and then one more time, total amount, save it, right? So that's how you're gonna do it, right? And once the annotations are done, you can see it over here. You can click on save button to move forward. You can validate it, and then you can move forward. And there's also an option of relationship. Since you created one relationship labels, right? So you can annotate the relationship as well. So let's suppose I want to create a relationship between a seller address, right? So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click here, and that's going to create a relationship between this. But for this particular tutorial, I am not focusing on relationship, so you can delete that relationship option for yourself, because this is not a relationship training. We are not training any kind of relationship models. We're just focusing on the LayoutLM model training. I'm just showing you so that you can see the capability of UBIAI tool, right? And you can also do the classification of this particular page. So let's suppose I can add the labels directly from here. I would say relevant page, and I can also give a irrelevant page, right? So I want to tag this as two things, right? So I can give it as a relevant page, so it will tag this particular page as relevant. So you can see there are multiple things you can tag onto this particular page itself. So let's suppose if you have a task of entity extraction plus classification, so you can do the both annotation at the same time in the same annotation tool, right? So that's the beauty of this particular UBI tool. You don't have to put a lot of efforts to annotate for the classification task and then for entities task, right? So now once that is done, you can click on validate document. It will do it for you. Now the next document will pop up. So let's mark the entities again. So let's suppose we want to mark the seller, right? So we're going to mark the seller, and then seller's address, right? And then total amount. So this is how you're gonna mark it. And then you want to mark the classifications, so you can write it as let's suppose we want to check it as an irrelevant page, right? So that you have the both of the options as selected, right? So you can click on next, and it will validate the documents. So since we don't have other documents, so it will not switch to the next document. So you can see that we have entered only two documents for now. And at the top you can see there are a lot of tabs here out. So you can see the details of the particular project, and then you can go to into documents. You can see the documents name that you have annotated. You can select and delete and whatever you want to do with this particular. You can import more documents. You can import your own data set that you have annotated here. and then you can do the pre-annotation. So let's suppose if you have any rule based any things that you have in your mind, you can also create a rule based matching here, and you can create a dictionary to annotate the document automatically. You can see the metrics. So let's suppose you have 5 to 10 members working in it as a team to annotate the things. You can see who is contributing, like how many of them have annotated what, and what is the distribution of the labels in the particular document. So you can see seller distribution, seller address distribution, and total amount distribution, right? So in a particular document, and that's how it helps you to annotate the things and understand the distribution of the labels on in a particular document. And if you go to the model, you can train the model here. So, and you can also use the API of this particular UBI tool. So let's suppose if you want to access it from the by using the API, you can use this particular API to use the already deploy the model, right? So now let's see the process of training the model, right? So once we have this annotation done, so I know this particular tutorial I haven't annotated much of the document, but for the learning perspective, I have just explained it how we can annotate. And now the next part comes in, that how to train the model by using those annotations. So you can go into this model section, and then you can click on this add button, and you can give your model name. So let's suppose I want to train a LayoutLM model. I want to give LayoutLM model, and then I'm going to select this model type and then create a model. So once that the model creation is there, you can see, and then there is no training has been done, right? So you can go back, and then you're gonna see this model, right? So you can see this sign. So you can click on this, and then you can specify the model name here. It's more specifically. So if you are using a paid version of this particular UBI tool, you can see the other models available here, but you can only see right now is a Spacy model available. So you can click on that, and then you can specify the number of iterations, and you can select the dropout layer. You can see the batch size, and then you're gonna save it. Once you do it, the model will start training here, and then you're gonna see the training and precision recall and epoch. So and even the percentage of validation documents. So a lot of things that you can see the statistics here. And once the training of model is done, you can click on this, and you can explore more of the precision recall chart and F1 score chart, like how the training went out, right? So this is the thing that you can do it over here in the model section. And once the model is done, you can download that model and you can use it for your own purpose of training. So that's the beauty of this particular whole UBI tool. So it provides you an annotation tool, and then you can also use it as an model training tool, right? So let's suppose you don't want to train the model over here in UBI tool, but you want to use this annotated data set, and you want to train your own model, right? So what you can do is you can export your own annotated data set by clicking on this export button. Here you can see at the bottom export annotation, and you can see you can export in this kind of format. So if you want to use Amazon comprehend, you can export in that format. If you want to use in JSON format, if you want to use Spacy models, Spacy transformer models, you can export it by clicking on this Spacy format. So it will directly convert you into a Spacy model format. And then if you want to do it in a text classification format, it will do it for you. If you want to do a relationship model extraction, then you can click on this relationship format to export the this particular annotation in a relationship format. If you want to do it, if you want to do an OCR training, then you can use it in an OCR format. If you want to do IOB, like NER extraction, then you can select this format, and you can also select this particular Stanford Core NLP format. So you can see there are a lot of frameworks format has been given here, and you can use it for all such kind of things. So let's suppose if you want to do it for specifically for LayoutLM training, then you're gonna select this OCR format to export in that format, right? So you can use this OCR process form, and then it will export this particular form in a particular LayoutLM format. So you can see it also explains the details, like what is the required format that is going to be exporting to. So you can click on this OCR format, and you can select this OCR process form, then it will start downloading the annotated file. So you can see it had started downloading it, and I want to save it, right? So this is how you're gonna do it for the annotation exportation, like from the annotation of the particular invoices, and then to the export of the invoice annotated data set, and then training of the model. So this is the whole setup that has been provided by the UBI tool. So now let's see the auto labeling annotation, like how it can be used for auto labeling the things. So let's suppose you have trained a model on, let's suppose, 100 documents, and you've trained a LayoutLM model on it, and you have a trained model on it. So you can use that particular model to annotate the rest of the data for yourself, and then model will predict something, some particular labels for that particular new document, and then you can use that particular tool to recheck those annotations and correct those annotations, and then you can feed back those particular Android data set, and then you can train a new model. So this is the flexibility that UBI tool provides you. So if you go into this model section, I have a model that has been already trained on the invoice extraction. So I'm going to select this project, invoice extraction, and then I'm going to show it up to you, like how we can annotate the things out for the new data set, right? So let's suppose I have this particular document, and I will just import some of the documents here in this particular document. So let me upload the document here. I will upload the document. Okay, so you can see we have exported this. So you can see we have imported this particular PDF. So before this, we saw this particular annotation. We did it manually, but now let's suppose I have already trained a model on set of documents. So if you go into this particular model section, you can see that I have trained an extraction model, invoice extraction model. It has been trained on 253 documents. Like it has been trained on 253 documents, and like it has been validated on 253 documents, and you can see the precision recall. So, and it has been trained on the 120 epoch. So this is how you can do it, like train the model, and you can see the statistics. If I have to click on here, you can see all the precision and recall charts here, and F1 score. And so I want to use this particular model to annotate my invoice data, right? So whatever the new invoice that I will be putting up here. So this is the new invoice that I have uploaded here. Now I want to annotate this document using the train model. So if you go into the left tab, you can see there is a model labeling option that is coming up. So what you can do is you can just click on this predict button. It will start annotating and loading the model, and it will automatically annotate the document for you. So you can see the document annotation has been done by the model. So you can see a lot of things that are being popping up. So let's explore this out. So you can see this is a seller name, this is the invoice number or invoice ID, the invoice date, the total number. So the model is not doing that pretty good because we haven't trained it for much samples, but you can see the purpose, like what it is doing. It is also annotating the new documents automatically. So let's suppose this particular annotation has been not done correctly by the model. So what I will do is I will just delete this particular annotation from here. So let's suppose it hasn't done the good here, so I will clear this out, and then I will delete this out. And this is not an invoice ID, so I will delete this out, and I will again re-annotate it by using invoice ID. So if I go down and then I will do this, then I will also delete this date ID. So let me also re-annotate this as a date ID. So likewise you can do it, right? So you can take a help of the already trained model, and it will help you to mark some of the entities in the particular page. And then if you don't find that particular annotation done by the model is correct, then you can delete this particular annotation from here, and then you can re-annotate it over the image. And then you can once that is done, you can click on this validate document. That will help you to proceed further for the annotation. So let's suppose there is a new document that I have uploaded, right? So let's go over here and click on this print button. So it will submit this particular document. You can see at the bottom, you can saying that its model is getting annotated. So you can see the prediction has been done. So now you can see that model has predicted the seller name, the invoice number, the date, and the GST number, the total amount. So it's doing pretty good here. But if you want to annotate more of the things here, you can also annotate like this, and you can select the other entities, right? So you can do this way, and you can save this annotation done by you and the model, and you can save it, and you can train this again. You can train this whole data again on the model section, as I discussed in the previous section, right? So this is a thing that you can use it for your auto labeling, plus recorrecting those auto labels to make the annotation work for your use case. So that's it. I think that's the whole purpose of this particular UBI tool, to help you on annotating the things out in a particular NER format, or if you want to do it on the image format, you want to do it on the PDF format. You want to train Spacy transform models, if you want to train the LayoutLM models, if you want to train specific any kind of model that is specific to NLP or document understanding, you can use this UBI tool for annotation as well as for the training of the model. So I think that's about it for this particular tutorial. If you want to check out this particular tool, you can click on the link that I have provided in the description section, and you can set up a demo. You can sign up for it, and it's going to help you to escalate the NLP projects and document AI projects for your own purpose. And in demo sessions, you can mention my name so that you can get an offer or discounts on the usability of this particular UBI tool. So I hope you enjoyed this particular tutorial. Thanks for watching.